It's MK and I am back with another Off the Board Christmas in July edition, and today I am also pairing this with celebrating Desiree Tales 1700 subscriber hop. So this is the lift that I will be creating with today using some of my Christmas cards. Now this is, if you guys remember, the shaker card that I took off of the green buffalo check that I really wanted to use for another project. So I'm going to be using the shaker portion of it today. I also pulled out this washi tape, but it does not make it on the project. I have a bunch of cut-aparts from a Minte collection. And then I have these snowflakes, one button snowflake and one broken acrylic snowflake. I do have to tell you guys that I forgot that I had these, but they do end up on the layout in the pictures. They just don't end up on the layout in the video. I also have my little accent piece that I took off of another card that will make it on the layout. This adorable little sleigh ride tag I love. I've been dying to use for 2 years now, and I finally have one to use. So I've got all 7 of my photos ready to be scrap lifted. I have picked out 3 cards, but because of the other card elements from other cards, I'm actually going to only end up using 1. I have some scraps of wood grain, but I think I'm going to only end up needing this full piece and not use any of the scraps. But I am going to be using a close to my heart horizontal, what's it called? Pocket page protector for my photos. Now, I actually turned Desiree's layout so that way my photos are going all horizontal or vertical, and hers were all going horizontal. So I turned hers to make it match the photos that I had, and then I can play along with hers. Now, she also has 3x4 cards in the center, where I'm only going to have 4x6 cards in the center. And because of one of my photos being horizontal, it's going to go across 2 of the pockets. So I decided to do the same thing with the Christmas card that I have chosen. It is also going to go across 2 pockets. So in this instance, if you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, that photo is covered in the upper right, it's covering part of her project, but I'm also not centered. That's because right now, all I'm doing is laying out all my pieces. I will be focusing on the left side first, which this isn't going to be a left side. It's going to be a front and a back and an insert into a layout that I created last year, to be honest. So if you guys are curious, check out all the Christmas ones that I did last year to see what it was. But Desiree mentions in her videos quite often that she is a minimalist, that she wishes she could put all of these embellishments all over her layouts. She really wished she could, but she's pretty happy with the simple and simplistic, but yet every single thing that she puts on her layout is representative of what is in her photos, which I thought was very, very intriguing as well, especially one that I watched of her daughter's 3rd birthday. She picked out a cake that had 3 tiers, and then conveniently it also had 3 candles on it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is an awesome representation of the fact that this is her 3rd birthday without writing on there 3rd birthday. I loved it, you guys. I really did. And so I thought in my brain that I was going to go minimalistic as well, using just the elements. However, I do end up diving into my Simple Story, simple vintage rustic Christmas embellishments that I had. Now, these are new to me. I bought them right after Christmas was over. So that way for one, I got them on sale because all the Christmas stuff goes on sale. Seems like in January, February, and then also in July. So picked these up because they were last year's embellishments, and then also too, I really like the fact that I didn't really need to use any of them for Christmas. I could just use them for winter, which is what I'm doing here, even though some of the phrases do say Christmas this, Christmas that, and whatnot. So the photo up at the top of that really cool structure, it's actually a shaft. It's where the pulley goes down into the shaft of an underground mine, and that's where the lift goes, or the elevator, the basket, whatever terminology they use. This one is actually located in Colorado. It's at Cripple Creek, Colorado. I think I'm saying that right. Cripple Creek, Colorado. It's one of the mine sites that my former company managed. We purchased it about 2 years before I left the company and was managing it. I had visited it quite a few times. I was super excited to see that it made it on a Christmas card, to be honest. So that is one of the reasons why I didn't want to chop it up. It has absolutely nothing to do with the photos in that my children are sledding on. We are not in Cripple Creek sledding, definitely not. But I just wanted to represent it. It's more for a memory for me. Because this was the exact same year that I got to go and explore Cripple Creek for the first time, so I can get an evaluation of where I could start my job. And it was just beautiful. The weather was gorgeous. It was so foggy we couldn't see in front of us. Dangerous, but beautiful. The drive up to the mine site, you didn't even know that you were headed to a mine site because there's just trees everywhere, the fog everywhere. It was just an amazing drive. Now, I have to tell you, once I got to the mine site, it was a little bit on the scary side because still the fog and you couldn't see anything, but it just, to me, was so magical. I mean, it just, that's, it, I don't know how else to say it. So this is my children sledding actually off of the dam on the other side of the lake that we live across. So we are on the far side of the dam is where we are at, and so we just drive over to the other street that is on the back side of the dam, walk up the hill to get to the dam, and then of course you sled down it. Sometimes it has a lot of snow and sometimes it does not. It just all depends on that hot pocket that it gets. It's kind of hard to explain, but sometimes there's absolutely no snow. But this is where we check first before we drive all the way to the golf course, which is really cool because the golf course actually does something really cool for the children during winter when nobody can go out there and golf, which I'm pretty sure people still do try. But what they do is they lay down tarps, and they're like, I don't want to say they're burlap tarps, but they are protective tarps to protect the grass, so the children can go and sled. So instead of saying it's off limits, you can't go, blah, 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 they actually protect it so people can go out there and sled, and their hills are amazing. I have some pictures of this year where we went out there and sled, and oh my gosh, it was just crazy, the distance. And I even have a few videos, which I'm hoping to have QR codes so you guys can check them out if you're interested at all. But yeah, it's just crazy where you start off on the hill and you kind of have to do a curve or you're going to fall off. Some kids snowboard down them. It's great that the golf course out here does that for the children instead of just, saying, no, you can't come out here and do that. So anywho, just thought I would let you guys know that, yes, this one here happens to be one of the rare occasions where we actually had snow on the backside of the dam. And it's not as deep of a hill, to be honest. It's just a quick ride down and a quick ride up, so the kids get a lot more rides, whereas the one at the golf course, for me, I could barely, my legs were so numb climbing up about the 5th time, and I just stood back and took pictures because it was so much fun watching them and having a blast. So anyways, one of the other things that I absolutely love to do in pocket cards is to overlap elements. I love to create, I don't want to say create a scene, but I love it when I can make a pocket look like it goes all the way across or was meant to be a part of the other pocket. So I just do that by overlapping the elements and gluing down little bits and pieces. Now, some pieces I don't even worry about gluing down, like the tips of the star and whatnot. So anyways, I also too glue all of my things, all of my elements back to back because I don't like shifting in the pocket. I don't like seeing the back sides when I flip my page. There's a slight shifting. And to me, it's just not as appealing as it is when I just take the extra step and glue them back to back. In this instance, this is actually unique for me because I glued my photos back to back. Normally, I always have them glued onto a backer card or a piece of paper or something. They always have a mat behind them. And this time I just glued them straight back to back and thought I would give it a try. And I actually really do love how it looks, especially when the wood grain that I picked out kind of blends really well, especially with my son's photo down at the bottom. And he had two, they're sleds, but they attach to your feet. And so you just kind of sled separately. The one up above shows him just kind of, it looks like he's just hanging out. I mean, like it was no effort whatsoever to stay up on these sleds. And then the second one is just where he was taking a break and drawing in the snow. But yes, they were the neatest little things ever. However, they are a little on the thin side, so they're pretty much a 1 year only type of deal. You can't save it for next year because the snow compacting really chews them up at the bottom, and you just can't get a second use out of them. Well, a second year's use out of them. We do get enough use out of them to where they last at least a year, and they're pretty inexpensive, to be honest. So I'm just making more clusters. Again, I am using all the elements left over from cards that I've pulled apart and stuff like that. I am so super glad to see that they are actually making it on another project, and I'm continuing to use all of these cards. I do only have one card left that I was going to manipulate, but the pin that I picked out for Wednesday, it won't work on because I found out the hard way that they're too thick, so I won't be able to use a card for Wednesday. Oh no, but I'm still going to do a Christmas in July. So anyways, going to do one last little fork bow. I double bowed it this time, so that way I could make the stringy-ma-thingy for the ornaments look a little realistic. And that is it. This is what I've done. Like I said, I put my photos on the vertical side. So I flipped Desiree's photo so that way I could get a better understanding. She does have a title card on here. I didn't see it to be necessary to have a title card. So my two cards down in the center are representing just image cards. They're just fun little cards. Like this one here's the shaker, and then the other side is the sleigh ride. But I do have to say that I like her blankness. I like how she has only 3 photos. She didn't try to fill up every single pocket. Now I don't know if that was intentional or if it was something that she just didn't have the photos of. I'm not really sure on that one. Like I said, I like to do this first and then go watch the video if there is one, and get her thoughts and process on it. If I do it first, then I feel like I'm copycatting, not intentionally or like it's a bad thing, but I just feel like, okay, she did it this way, and then that's kind of stuck in my brain. So I like to see and figure it out on my own first before going and watching how people put it together. That's another cool little challenge that I like to do for myself. So anyways, I do have to say also that that shaker pocket, or that shaker element, is going to make this pocket a little on the thicker side. So I will be ending up using a paper clip to hold it in place, just so that way it's not constantly trying to push its way out of the pocket. I don't take pictures of that because the pockets leave a ton of glare. I used to take pictures with my pockets, or with my elements in the pockets, but because of all the glare, it's just awful. I also have to say that I did end up moving my cardinal because I forgot that close to my heart's pockets are on the side. They're side opening rather than top opening like I thought they were. So I had to move the cardinal, or his little head was going to get chopped off, or bent up, I should say, not chopped off. That's bad. So anyways, be sure to check out everyone else that is helping Desiree celebrate this amazing milestone. That is so phenomenal, and I am so excited for her. I really, really am. She is a sweetheart. I love watching her videos. She's just calm and soothing to watch. I just really do appreciate what she puts out there. I really do. It's very lovely stuff. Also, too, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Off the Board all month long. The big old long list is down below as well. And I will check y'all later. Bye.